This is the making of my new Nintendo room, version 3.0. Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. It's good to be back. It's been a few months, life has been insanely busy. There's a lot of reasons why, but mainly the big reason why it's been so long is because the renovation on the main story of our house is almost done, but it's taken up a lot of our time, energy, and money, as well as our jobs and coaching. But I'm really excited to get back into making videos and to share with you the progress on this Nintendo room. Before I even get to that though, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is out in 2 days on December the 7th. I'm so excited for that. Comment below, what are you most excited for about that game? I'm most excited to play as King K. Rool. I've been waiting for that character for a really long time. So, to get ready for Smash Brothers, I actually built a new shelf to hold all of my amiibo for Super Smash Brothers. That shelf is 6 feet long, it's bigger than the last one. And also, I'm going to get a poster that's going to get above here. It's the poster from the game, the really long, narrow one. So I'm really excited for Super Smash Brothers. And before I get into walking around the room and going through what's been going on in this space, I do want to mention the Super Smash Bros. GameCube controller adapter. If you're interested in this, they're already in stores, so you don't have to wait for the actual day. You might want to go out and get one tomorrow, the day before the game launches, because they could sell out pretty quickly, like they did last time with the Super Smash Bros. 4 that was on the Wii U. I also got the Super Smash Bros. GameCube controller, so shoutouts to that. I'm just really excited for Smash Bros. Alright, let's get to this collection space. So this is bigger. I have all the shelves in, if you haven't noticed, and all the tables are in, so most of the furniture is in a pretty good spot, but this is not the end game for this collection or for this room. There are other plans that I have to change things out and to make this space even bigger. So before I get too far into it, behind those 2 shelves, because that looks an awful lot like a doorway, behind those 2 shelves, they're going to wheel out. I'm going to put them on wheels. There is the furnace room and a storage room, which I will eventually expand into. So for now, I'm just putting shelves there, and they fit pretty well in that space. But ultimately, that's going to be part of the Nintendo room. It's going to go into that space a little bit more, I believe. So this will be expanded even further. So if you're wondering, when is the Nintendo room going to be done? The collection is going to move in soon, but it'll never really be done. It will always be a work in progress. So let me just walk you through the space and go through my thoughts for this Nintendo room and the drawbacks that I've had. So in this house, one of the reasons why I haven't made a video in months is because this house has suffered 8 separate leaks. 8. We were told by the previous owners that this house was well taken care of, but they knew about some of the leaks. I guess, I'm not even sure. I don't know what to think. But I was terrified, you can imagine, to move in a Nintendo collection into a house that has had leaks. The basement had an 8-foot crack in the foundation that we had to have carbon mesh put over it and have it fixed. It was really terrifying, actually. Then there was another leak in our cold cellar. So when that leak hit in our cold cellar, which is right through this door, I had all the individual shelves for these units. These are kind of like the frames, but the individual shelves that go on here, they were mostly all stored in there, in the cold cellar, just out of the way during the construction. And there was a leak in there, so a lot of them got wet. A lot of them are now completely damaged or destroyed, and actually some mold grew on some of them, so I cannot store my Nintendo items on that sort of surface at all. So I need to throw all those out, and I need to get new shelves, but at least lesson learned, none of my collection was in there, and I just need to get the shelves themselves. So I'm going to, I think, buy 96-inch length black shelves from like Home Depot or something like that, and cut them down. Only a few of them I didn't have in the room in the cold cellar, so I need to get new black shelves, but at least I have the frames for everything. So that's going to be a bit of work. I'm going to have to cut those down, but it's going to be worth it, and then I can move in the collection. So those were a few drawbacks, obviously. My job has been so insanely busy. I've been coaching a lot too, but the main story, Renovation, has been absolutely huge. We're almost done, and it looks fantastic, but that's been all my time and money, and I really want to make videos again for you guys because I really enjoy it. So let's go through the space. Let me talk about everything in here, what it's going to look like, what my thoughts are for the Nintendo room going forward, and to make the space even better. It is bigger than Nintendo room version 2.0 and the original Nintendo room, and it's eventually going to be another 180 square feet larger, roughly, once I expand into that space. So the idea here is, once you come down the stairs, I might line the staircase. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. Hey, where's the railing for my staircase? Hilariously, one of my friends late at night, he kind of tripped, grabbed the handrail, and the handrail ripped right out of the drywall because the handrail wasn't even into studs. It wasn't even into wood, it was just in drywall and it broke off. So I need to put that back on. But I'm hopefully maybe going to put some Nintendo posters as you come down the stairs. So that would be a nice touch. And once you come down the stairs, I'm going to have the NES collection in the first shelf here on the right, and then the Super Nintendo collection on the left. So that will be the systems boxed that are worldwide, and the controllers and different accessories like that. Shoutouts to this Mario Kart. I actually have a working Mario Kart now. This one I could barely fit into. I use it as part of my Halloween costume. It does run. It makes different sounds. I'll just make one of the sounds right now with this. So this is hilarious. It's for kids, but I thought I'd get it because I found it online for pretty cheap. So that's hilarious. It actually works. And has Mario sounds. So that one I found for like $60 on Kijiji or something like that. Alright, sorry, I'm just getting distracted. So we have NES collection, Super Nintendo collection, maybe a Mario Kart little area here with some posters on the door to the cold cellar, and maybe the games will be there. Maybe Star Fox little section right here as well, because I do want to have multiple series represented in this room. Then I'm going to have the N64 console collection, the 16 worldwide consoles that are unique systems themselves, not the cover differences or box differences, just the 16 different systems will be here. And after that, of course, after the N64 comes the Nintendo GameCube. Before I only had one shelf for GameCube, but once I get more of them eventually, I'll have to have two shelves. So probably GameCube and then Wii, but maybe both of them will be GameCube at some point. This is my Pokeball table that I made myself and I painted it, and I've got some stools that were from Target when they were closing down shop in my local hometown. And over here we're going to have, I guess, if those are both GameCube, this one's going to be the Wii. It might be the Wii U. And then this one in the long run will be Wii U. I think the three on the bottom here will be handheld, or maybe the Switch, and then the Switch or handheld over here on that last bookcase. So that should hold all the Nintendo systems throughout history. We'll see what I do about a Virtual Boy, which I do not have quite yet. That's one of the items that I've been after. But that thing just gives me a headache. So what am I going to do in the space up here then? It's pretty big. This is going to be a Zelda wall. So I'm going to put the Hylian Shield and the Master Sword that I have over there. I think I'm going to put those in the middle with a poster of Zelda, some sort of Zelda poster on either side, with all of the Zelda games will be below. Then I just need to talk about this Mario table because we're hitting it right now. So this Mario table I made years ago. Years and years ago. It's a little bit damaged now. So my idea with this was to put all the worlds of the game. So you have grassland and desert and so forth with every single item and every single character. I cut these out pixel by pixel after cutting them, and I glued them down to the table, and then I urethaned over top of it. It's lasted years, but it's a little bit damaged. I have redone the table since in in Photoshop, and I'm eventually going to redo it and make it look even better, probably as part of a bar table that will be a little bit higher up with like stadium seating. So I just want to give you a good look of all these worlds, because this took me, I think, 300 hours, I said, to make this table. It was obscene how long I spent doing this table originally. And the chairs for these, I have 8 of them. They look pink sometimes in a video or an image, but they are Nintendo red, so it's a little bit weird that they look pink. They're the same kind of red as these chairs, which again look a little bit pink while I film, but they're red in person, so as long as they're Nintendo red, I think they fit in really well. Behind the couch, I always have my Nintendo Power magazines. That's the plan for now, but I mentioned that bar table. So I want to redo, I think, this table, or maybe do a Super Nintendo table, I'm not sure quite yet, and put that behind the couch. That way it's like stadium seating, and there'll be raised chairs like bar stools, so you can overlook the people who are gaming, and that way instead of only having 6 or 7 people on the couch, I can have another 5, maybe 6 people at this long table that I'll have. That will go there ultimately, but right now it's not like that, of course. Moving on from there, we have my Wii Remote table. I want to get a table basically for every single system, or some sort of item in the room for every system. So I've got a Wii Remote. I have a really cool looking NES coffee table. I have to sell the original NES coffee table. I still haven't got around to do that, just being too busy. This table deserves a video on its own. It actually lifts up. It's a really cool table, but I'll get to that in another video. And I have the N64 table and GameCube table. Again, I want to update these, make them better. The N64 logo, I've seen other people make a coffee table where it's the actual 3D N64 logo that I want to build, and something similar for the GameCube, but we'll see about that at some point. The couch. This is the couch that was in the previous 2 Nintendo rooms. It's back. It's a little old and outdated. It'll be updated at some point, but for now I obviously can't afford to do that. Shoutouts to Super Mario Odyssey. Wicked blanket right there. That was from Walmart. It's like $40. Would make a great Christmas gift. Speaking of which, I'm not sure if I'll do 12 days of Nintendo Christmas. I've got to think about that and see if I can do it this year and see if that's actually logistically possible for me to get at. So behind the couch, though, I'm going to have Amiibo. All the Amiibo collection will maybe be somewhere on this shelf up here or down below there. My idea is to make this Super Smash Bros. And Amiibo themed and put some other sort of Smash Bros. Items probably in the corner. That window, though, needs a better covering for sure. There's a hole in my ceiling here from the renovation. There's another hole in my ceiling there from the renovation. So there's a little bit of work left to do, but I definitely have to change those drapes. Those drapes are terrible. I need something Nintendo themed, probably. So that brings me to the bookcases on either side of what will be the Mario wall. So in the middle here will be an entire Mario wall of all the games and posters and just anything Nintendo Mario related. So I might turn both of these bookcases, instead of them holding the systems like I had previously, they will have glass shelves and they might just hold Mario related items. I'm going to see about that, so I'm not sure quite to do about that. But in between will be a Mario wall just like the last room. The other Nintendo rooms had a Mario wall and a Zelda wall, but now I'm going to have a Zelda wall, a Super Smash Bros. Wall, a Mario wall. I'm also going to have a Poké wall, which will be kind of this one here. And I want to have other series, like I mentioned, Star Fox and maybe a few others, Mario Kart, and we'll get there. My gaming setup right now is not the best, but it's getting there. I have an HD TV with 2 CRT TVs, so I have a 3 TV setup, and it's not even optimal. Usually I have, I think, 5 or 6, which is just ridiculous, but my goal is to always be ready for a marathon, a Mario-thon, a Zelda-thon, a Poké-thon, a Donkey Kong-thon, whatever it is. I want to be ready for those. At all times, basically, and not have to set up for it. It's a lot of setup, so if it's just ready to go. Also, if I have like 6 or 7 friends over, we can all play our own game, which is pretty cool. So the systems I have here right now are the Switch, I have the Wii U, I have a Super Nintendo Classic, a Super Nintendo, the newer version of it, I guess, and an N64 with some chosen games. The rest of the entire collection is at my parents' place, stored in boxes, which is kind of sad. It's been like that for months, but I need to pull it all out at some point. Computer setup right now. It's a 1-screen setup. My other monitor I had to lend to my sister because she moved back from all the way across the continent, basically. So she's back within an hour of where I live, and it's good to have her back, so she borrowed one of my monitors for now. And hey, really sweet looking Super Nintendo keyboard. It's mechanical. It isn't perfect, but it works pretty well for a relatively inexpensive mechanical keyboard. I got it on sale for half the price, so I thought it was worth it. So over here, we're going to have a Pokemon wall. Now this wall above those chairs, I think I'm going to put the 4 framed starter Pokemon will be here, and then the frame set of 151, the original 151, my favorite generation of Pokemon, obviously the original ones, will be there. I'm thinking this fridge, my Mario themed fridge, might be turned into a Pokemon themed fridge. This one holds a keg, by the way. I might put a Pokeball on top of it or something like that, and at one point maybe we'll put a keg in it and have a good time and play some video games, but we'll see. Around this opening that was a closet, I think I'm going to put all of the Pokemon games, maybe going all the way around it. There's a lot of them, and I think I have all of them right now, the main series, so that's the idea there. And on the right side here, where you see some Pokemon plush, these are Pokemon Fit. They're worthy of their own video. This is most of the first wave that came out in Japan exclusively. There's Pikachu looking adorable, and Eevee is up there as well, but it's a little bit dark. So a Pokemon-themed wall. And then in this closet, there are 4 bookcases that are all going to be for games. In the last Nintendo room, there was only 3 bookcases for games, so this is even more. That closet is 4 feet deep and roughly 6 feet wide, so quite a few games in here. But ultimately, what I really want to do down here is demo this little wall in between those 2 closets and open this up even more. I'll keep that wall, I think. I don't think I can move that. It might be structural, but this one I know is not structural for a fact. So if I demo that and make the space a little bit more open, it'll make the room feel bigger, and I'll have all of that for games. So they maybe 6 bookcases for games or something like that once the space eventually expands. But right now I can't afford to do it. We've been doing too much upstairs. And the other new addition to this space is these two chairs. I'm not sure what they're called, like cabin chairs or something like that. They're really comfortable. I saw them brand new in a place near where I live. It's called The Brick. And they were way too expensive individually. So I looked on Kijiji, which is like local classified ads, almost like a garage sale hunt. And I found them for 140 bucks is what I eventually paid, I think. $70 each, which is a really good deal. They're really comfortable. They seat two people. And maybe you can read some Nintendo Power magazines that are going to be there and just be involved in the space. So if my wife has someone over, they can sit down and we can all game, and they can come over and game, or anyone can game and sit down and just relax, basically, which is what this room should be all about. These two chairs, they're here for now, but I'm thinking of painting them Super Nintendo themed, maybe one a D-pad and then the other one the buttons, or I could do the 4 buttons for Super Famicom and the 4 buttons for Super Nintendo and have 2 of those basically. So have something Super Nintendo themed, NES themed. I have N64 and GameCube over there, the Wii remote, and I'm working on something for Wii U and for the Switch. It's in the works, and I'll keep thinking about it and keep thinking about it. So what do I have to do next to get this room actually ready to go? I need to mount all of the shelves to the walls so they're not like leaning over each other or anything like that. I need to cut like 48 black shelves and put them in here on all of these. Then I can start moving the collection over. The posters have to go up. The shelves for all the World of Nintendo figures have to go around the top of the room. I need to add some more lighting to this space. But this will always be a work in progress until I am absolutely happy with it. Until eventually, long term, this goes under a renovation. We take down that little wall. I probably replace this amazing carpet that definitely needs a replacement at some point, and we expand into the other space. But I'm going to fill up this room. I'm going to make this room look as best as I can. We're going to do a room tour in 2019, and then I'm just going to keep improving it and keep improving it. I also have to do a lot of work on the bathroom that exists down here. Yes, there is a bathroom down here, and make that into a Nintendo Mario themed bathroom or something like that. The bulkhead up here, I want to turn this into Mario blocks. So put Mario blocks all the way down here and make it look like a real Nintendo room, a Mario themed Nintendo room. Maybe get some Mario clouds, put them all over the ceiling, or paint the ceiling a light blue. So if you have any ideas for the new Nintendo room to make it better, please comment below. I do want to start making videos more often. We'll see about Nintendo Christmas, the 12 days of Nintendo Christmas, if I can get around to doing that. But thank you so much for watching. I'll do some sort of video for Super Smash Bros. I pre-ordered the game with the Pro Controller, and I'm really excited to actually get my hands on that. So that's in 2 days. I'll definitely do an unboxing video for that on launch day at some point. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to fill that like bucket. Follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video. I do post on Instagram. And remember, as always, go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming. Happy holidays, everyone.